This video is about how to take the email and blog calendar and set them up into into redbooth, and then get the specs ready to be sent over to the client. So the first step is to open up the email and blog calendar and check that the client has approved these. If you look down here, you'll notice that they've approved all of this. But down here, I've said don't enter in any further dates after July. So we're just going to enter in the first 6 months, and I'll grade those ones out so we don't enter any more in there. So the first one we want to enter is going to be in March, and this is the published date here. This is the date that actually gets scheduled and sent out the door, and we need to allow about 10 days before that to start working on this for them. So the first thing we do is go into redbooth, and we create go into redbooth and we find the project. So here's the project. It's the front door email, and we then create a new task list, and the new task list is going to be called wall art. Just that topic right there. We'll just take that topic there. That's easy. And dated the 29th of the 3rd. So we'll just call it wall art. And 29th of the 3rd is the completion date. Then we go down to the template and we choose email for client. That's the template we want. And then we want to start it. If we're going to finish it on the 29th, then we need to start it on the Monday beforehand. Now see how this has put the 18th in here. That's actually incorrect. Can't change that. So put it onto the Sunday, and that then starts it on the Monday for us. Okay, so that means that's the first thing that's happened. Starts on the Monday. That's it. Then that's done. It's all set up and ready to go, and we save it, and that's going to invite Carol to this. We won't bother about sending her an invitation to that, so we'll just leave that, and that's all set up now. So you'll see now under the front door email that now we have one email set up, and that's for wall art for this. So now we want to create a new task list, and the new task list is going to be the next thing on the list, and that will be, we'll call it decorating for Easter, and that's due on the 12th of the 4th. So that will be decorate for Easter, 12th of the 4th. We want to choose the email for the client, and we're going to finish it by the 12th of the 4th, which is a Saturday, so essentially it's a Friday. So that means it needs to come back 12th of the 4th, so we're going to start it on this day here. So we're going to just pop it back one more day onto the Sunday, so that will start on the, and that one's done. So that's how you go through. We won't invite. That just sends out emails all the time, so we don't need to invite. And then that's got that all set up and ready to go now. So that's what we do. Just go through and do all of those. And then it's the same for the other calendars that we've already set up as well. Now the second step of that is to open the email specs document. So each email and each blog that we're writing is going to have a specs document, and this needs to be filled in from the spreadsheet. So the first thing is put in the company name, and I've already put in the front door there. And then the title is going to be wall art, or spruce up your home was the title we had in there. And then the deadline for this particular document and all the images back to us. Let's just look back on that again. We can look back here if you want to, or you can look back into here. So the deadline to get it back to us is going to be the 19th, right? That's the deadline right there. So we want to put that deadline in here for the client. And then the date that we're going to be publishing it that's the date there. So we put that in. Again, that's on the spreadsheet for us. Let me check that spreadsheet's. Yeah, the 19th. There it is. Good. It's there as well. Okay. And then which email and list is this being sent to? Well, this would have been in all the information is coming out of the spreadsheet. So it's going to be their best customer, best C. That's going to be prospects and customers they're sending it to. If they haven't filled this out, they can fill this out on here. This is for them. They can fill this out if you don't have the information. And then what is their problem, pain, or what they want? I've just cut and paste that from the spreadsheet, right? So they're trying to decorate the house without spending a lot of money. So it's come from the spreadsheet. That's there. What is the incentive or the offer? And that is for the client to fill out if we haven't filled it out. So I look over here and there's no offer or incentive that's been filled out. So the client will fill that out. If they have filled it out, just remove that. Okay, so just take the no colour off that. But I've left it on because they haven't done that. So it just highlights it for them. Is this an email or a blog? Well, it's an email. If it is a blog, what are the keywords? We'll leave that for now. So the client needs to upload the images, and then they would type in things like, might be Sid Dickens image. Sid Dickens 1 is one of the images, and Anna Chandler 2. And they should have put those images into the Dropbox. So when you open this again, they should be in there. So that's that. If they haven't put the images in yet, then we'll highlight that so that they know to do that. And is there anything else that we need? Any other comments that they want to make about it? They might want to say something like, I've given you 2 images. You only choose one. The one you like. Okay, so that's any other comments that they want to make that's not. Okay, and then the content. Now they want to add the content in this little section here, or they want to add it into the second page, and this is where we're going to get our content from. And then they need to save this back as a file name. So what we do now is we're going to save this file, save as, and I've saved it as email, so it's going to be either email or blog, March 29th, which is the due date, and wall art. It's just helpful. We don't even need to put 2014, okay? Rightio, so we can save it, and we're saving it back into the front door. We're saving it back into the Dropbox. That is the front door. Emails into March. Okay, so that's going to be saved there. That's done. So then you would want to make sure this is done and send it on out to the client on the date that's in here. So that gets emailed out to the client with a reminder to fill it out within 2 days, and that we'll be looking for it and the date that we need it back by. And then you take it from there. So that's a different step. Okay, so 2-step process. Get the spreadsheet, get the details in, and create the specs sheets for each one, and then send them out to the client. The client, of course, can change the title of their whatever they want. They can change this if I want to. And if they do come back and they change it, let's say they decide to call it Wall Art with Anna. Let's say that's what they decide to call it. And you particularly need to change it in here. Then just come over here and you can simply just edit it and call it Wall Art with Anna. Just like that. So you can change it if you want to. And that's it. That's just how to schedule them in. One more thing I should say is that when you go to create these, make sure that you've also created a series of, so you want to create a Dropbox, you want to put the front door as the name of the company, the emails, but do go ahead and put them in by the month so we can just sort them in the month. So the clients put this in here, just ignore that, it's not supposed to be there. So just go ahead and create it for each month so that those files are all set up ready to go. Okay, that should be it.